Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's begin without wasting the time. So just a small recap will just do it. So we had begin with the chapter by name. Okay, the story of village Palambur. Okay, so this was a small chapter we had begin with last class, just introduction. We
Yes,
just
ma'am.
completed with this. So in this chapter, we just saw that this is an imaginary village. Keeping this as an example, they have given us how the activities, economic activities of the villages in our India are underdone, or how as activities are undertaken. So that is the main purpose of this chapter. That is, what are the different economic, that means what are the different livelihood or a work the people of the village do. So this is an example of one village, that is Palampur, which is imaginary village. So whatever you learn in this village, it will be connected to the other villages in our India. We saw that in this village, it is a small village where we have 450 families in the village. And like how most of the villages, you have caste system prevailing. Even in this village of Palampur, there was a caste division where small number of people were of upper caste people, and more three-fourth of the population were of the lower caste people, that is the scheduled caste. And though they had all the facilities reaching them, but still the people of Palambur had divided them. So the scheduled caste people were living in the corner of the village with very less facilities, low standard of living, where they were still living in the mud and straw house. But whereas the upper caste people had a very luxurious and comfortable life. Then we also saw that, like any other villages in our India, this village is also well equipped with few facilities. Like it had electricity facilities, and it had good schools where you had both primary and the secondary school. And there was also one government hospital as well as a private clinic. So these are the few basic facilities what every village should have. So even this, the village of Palambu also had these facilities. And I think we also dealt with the people of this village are undertaking two type of occupation. One occupation is called farming activity. One more we saw in the introduction, that is non-farming activity. So last class we begin with one activity, that was a farming activity. So this is what I think I stopped with. Any questions still here, children, you have? Just you can, one of you
No,
can.
ma'am. No questions, ma'am.
Thank you.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So this is what we stopped with. That is organization of production. Or one more word is factors of production. I think this is a word I might have used in the class very frequently. That is factors of production, which means for any economic activity. Economic activity means any work, okay, which earns money. Okay, any work you do where you earn money, that is called as economic activity. It can be a simple sweeper on the road, okay, or IAS officer, or anybody, your PM, CM, or your teachers, doctors, lawyers. All they do different you remember that you had learned different occupation called primary, secondary, and tertiary. All these three type of occupation are called economic occupation. So whichever work you do to where you get money is called economic. Any work you do where you don't earn money, it is called as non-economic activity. For example, the mothers at home who does cooking, washing, they do work, but still they are not paid for their work. Such work is called non-economic. But here in this chapter, you're going to learn about economic, which means you do the work and you earn money. Okay, so any work you do, economic work you do, you need four things with you. Without that four things you cannot do. Those four things only I'm showing on the slide. That is only called as four factors of production, or one more name for factors of production is organization of production. So that is the meaning of the word heading. First thing is, every work need a land. Now here you should concentrate on only village of Palampur. Now Palampur work is farming. Okay, so here every farmer needs, first thing to do their work is land. So that was the first That is the first thing what we learned. Land is the first factor of production. Land is something, the topography or the landform. But the economists also say land is not only literally means the land. Here, what all natural resources you use it to do some work, all that is considered as land. For example, here water is also falls under land, mineral, because all this are found on the land. Okay, so that's why for every economic activity, first thing you should have is a land. Okay, so that is the first factor of production. Even in Palambur also, for farming they need land. Second, this also we learned in the last class, second factor of production or second organization of production we have is a labor. That is the people to work. Now you can also ask me, ma'am, even machines work. Yeah, machine also can be a work, but here to operate a machine also you need a person. Okay, so machine is something different category. Here I was speaking about the people who work, and we also saw that we need two people. One is you have educated also, especially for any high-fied qualified work, we need an education also. So that is a one group of people, and we also need a manual people. That is a physical. For example, most of them farming activity doesn't require too much of education. Okay, here you need a skilled one or a manual laborers. So here the people of Palambur take second factor to do their work, that is the labor or the people who work. So that is a second category, that is a labor. Okay, so this is a third one we had stopped with. So the third factor of production is called capital. Okay, okay, don't see the second part, see only the first part, that is the heading says as physical capital. So if you're taking the points, first factor was called land. Okay, I want you to take down this point. First factor of production was land, second factor of production was labor, third factor of production was capital. After writing capital, I want you to write inside the bracket as physical capital. Okay, so the third factor of production which we need to do any economic activity is called physical capital. Now what is this physical capital? Now as you know, for every work, okay, for any work you do, there are many inputs required to do the work. Inputs means you use many other things to do the work. So that is only called as a physical capital. Physical capital means varieties of inputs required for every stage of production. Every production item or any goods you produce, you need certain inputs to put in. So those inputs are only called physical capital. Okay, children. Now under physical capital, is it clear? So physical capital is a heading. Under physical capital, you have two types of capital. One is called fixed capital. I just want you to write below physical capital subheading as fixed capital. First type of
Should I start writing notes, ma'am?
not notes, it's just a teaching points, children. Just for you,
Okay.
I told you to, just a
Like
teaching point.
points, no, ma'am.
Yeah, points. It will, you know, first just heading as factor of production. First factor was land. Second factor was labor. Third factor was capital.
Physical capital, ma'am.
Inside the capital, you put the bracket as physical capital. Now, under physical capital, the first type. Okay, so this is a third factor, first type. Okay, so under physical capital, the first one is called fixed capital. I think you might have remembered in your 7th standard, children, when you learnt about cost and profit, you came across two cost called as a variable cost and fixed cost. You remember in your 7th standard question, economics chapter? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is what here is the meaning. Okay, fixed capital means, as you see the first example I've given there as tools, machines and buildings, which we use it for many years. Okay, that is first time investment. You invest on something, okay, only one time, and later you use the same again and again. So such materials or such things are called fixed. For example, tools. Okay, imagine, for example, what are the tools a farmer needs? You think a tool a farmer
Ma'am,
needs?
plow,
Yeah, plowing or plow. Then
leveler,
then
land,
Tractor.
fertilizers. Ma'am,
That
combine,
is
ma'am.
not fixed.
Harvesters.
yeah, harvesters or
Combine.
tractors.
Combine also,
Combine.
ma'am.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Now this is all. Is that farmer every year he's do the work? Every year is buying new tractors, new harvesters, or only one time he's buying?
One time, ma'am.
Only
He
one
buys
time.
one time.
Anything
If any
you,
damage
yeah.
happens, he repairs it.
Repairing, but buying is only one time. Okay, so tools also like sickles or like a cutter, harvester, even with the hand what they do. Okay, now even to repair his tractors or something, you need the screwdrivers or something. Now all those only I meant here. Okay, so anything you use it for production over many years. Okay, again and again you're using the same thing, that is called as a fixed capital. So the example can be tools, machines, or even computer. If you're running an office, okay, computer is also one-time investment. Okay, you're putting up a factory. The building of the factory is only one-time investment. Okay, so that is what. So only there is in every production you use it, but over many years. So that is called as a fixed capital. So even here I've given example of a palambur. So you have tools like plowing, all those, and even down you come across, you have even generators, turbines. Okay, now generators and turbines are for what? For in palambur, what is the use, children, for these two?
Ma'am, for windmills and all,
Okay,
ma'am.
electricity. Yeah. So generators and turbines, electricity. Third example is not for Palambu village, but for other. I'm talking about other examples. Like if you're running a factory, everything. Computer is also example of fixed capital. So is it clear with the fixed capital, children? Example
Yes, ma'am.
and the meaning.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the one more, the next one you have is you learned here about a variable cost. So here the variable cost is called as a working capital. So the next one we have is a working capital. Another name for the working capital, what you learned in your 7th standard, is a variable. Okay, variables. Okay. Here the meaning of working, the second type of physical capital you have is a working capital. Meaning is production requires a variety of output. That is, for every production you put some, no activity can happen without the raw material. Okay, so raw material and very important, the money in the hand. Okay, so these two are the best examples for working capital. That is raw material and the currency or the rupee note what you have in a hand, because frequently you need to go to shop and buy few things for your production. So for
Yes.
that you need also money in the hand. Okay, that falls under the meaning of the word working capital. The same thing what you learned in your 7th standard called as a variable cost. Other name for that variable cost is working capital. So it is a raw material is a best example. Now if for the people of Palampur, what will be the working capital, children, for their farming activity?
Ma'am, grains and fertilizers.
Yeah, few seeds they need to sow. Yeah, seeds can be a raw material, fertilizers. Okay, now can you see there's also, now I also told you that Palambu people also do non farming activity. One is
Yes,
weaving.
ma'am.
Weaving is non farming. So if you're doing a weaving, what will be a raw material?
Wool.
Ma'am, yarn, wool and all, ma'am.
Yeah, for weaving means, for example, cotton is a raw material to make it thread or like yarn all. Okay, that if you're
Yes,
a
ma'am.
potter, what is a raw material? Potter.
Mud.
Potter.
Yeah, potter, pottery making.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mud, ma'am. Clay,
okay,
sand.
clay or a mud. Okay, if you're doing a sericulture, or a sericulture is an activity, what will be your raw material?
Ma'am,
This cocoon.
no,
Cocoon
ma'am,
or
that's
those silk. Those silk worm from silk yarn also they take it. Okay, very
Ma'am,
good.
even dairy products, ma'am, production of dairy products. Yes,
So
ma'am.
okay, so like this you have different raw materials, so that falls under the second category called as working capital. Is it clear with the fixed capital and working capital, children?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just give you one example. Let's see what exactly I want you to tell whether it falls under fixed capital or working capital. Okay, the first example is tractors.
Ma'am, fixed capital.
Fixed capital. Okay. Okay, then pesticides.
Working.
Ma'am, working capital.
Okay. What about okay? The next one is like a sickle.
Ma'am, it is a
Fixed.
fixed capital, ma'am.
Okay. Then you have as a fertilizers.
Ma'am,
Working.
capital.
Okay. The seeds.
Working.
Ma'am, working capital. Working capital.
Okay. Then you
Capital,
have
ma'am.
harvesters.
Ma'am, it is
Fixed.
fixed capital, ma'am.
Understood the two different things, children. Okay. One-time investment comes under fixed capital. Raw materials and money in your hand is called as a work. Physical capital. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next thing in your textbook, you see there is one more called as a human capital. Okay. Now, in your textbook, they are put under physical capital only. But if you see in deep in economic, that is a fourth factor of production called as entrepreneur. Heard about this word entrepreneur?
Yes,
Entrepreneurship. Okay.
Business.
Now, but
Yes,
as
ma'am.
per your textbook, what you can do is that they have put the next category, that is a human capital. So the third one, they have put under physical capital only. But if you see here, the first line here I've written as, we can also say that this can become also a fourth requirement, which means this can also considered as a fourth factor of production. Understanding, children? It can be a fourth different along with land, labor, and capital, or you can also include this as third type of a capital under physical capital known as a human capital. Understanding? Okay. Now your next question is, what is this human? Your human capital don't link with labors. The second factor you learned as laborers, no? Yeah, so this is totally different from the labor. Now, what is this human capital? We have it is, now for every
skills of man acts as the capital and resources, ma'am.
now you require a very skilled or an organization or a group to put this three factor of production, that is a land, labor, and capital. Okay, because all this kept separately no use. Okay, there should be some person who take land, who will call for laborers, who invest money, who buy machines, and see to that all these three factors are working together properly. That person who sees that this three factor of production is working properly, that person is called human capital. Is it clear with the human capital word?
Yes, ma'am.
Human capital means,
Ma'am, human capital means like a person who looks after the working, ma'am.
yeah, that is a organization or an entrepreneur or enterprise, or that association, or that what to say, that group. Okay, that something like the boss.
Monitors the work.
Okay, the boss, something like a knowledge or intelligence. What the meaning, children? That everything goes on properly.
Yes, ma'am.
Something like a boss, we can boss of the company. Okay, or a company is also an example for human capital. A company, because company puts everything together and make them to work together.
Yes, ma'am.
So the fourth factor of production we have is a human capital, which means, so every production is organized by, okay, that is combining a person who combines land, labor, and physical capital together. That is called, that person is called as a human capital. Is it clear with the four factors of production?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody has any doubts here? You can ask me. I'll pause here.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, quickly I'll summarize this, children. No question means, first is land we need for any production. Labor is a people who work there. Third thing is capital. Under capital you have two types. One is the fixed capital, that is one-time investment, and next you have as a working capital, which means raw material and money you use to do it. And lastly, we have one person putting all these three things together and see to that it works efficiently and everything goes on well. That factor of production is a human capital, the last factor of production. So these are the four factors of production. Every economic activity takes it to do it. But here our focus is only the farming activity. Is it clear?
Yes,
ma'am. Okay, so no question. I can go further.
Yes, ma'am.
So okay, the next one is, if you see the problem with Palampur, not only the people of Palampur, but most of the village in our country is the land is fixed, which means the first factor of production is fixed. For example, you might have learned in our first chapter, what is the size of your country? You learned in your first chapter.
Ma'am,
3.2 million.
Okay, very good. 3.28 million complete square
kilometers.
That is very important. Okay, so 3.28 million square kilometer. Now, is this the land same today, yesterday, and tomorrow? Is it okay? Is going on changing the size of the land here?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your India also growing in its size?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
In our India, land is also fixed here.
Yes, ma'am.
Land isn't growing.
Village land is also fixed. For example, imagine in Palambur village is somewhere around 100 square feet is a south. I'm just giving you example. 100 square feet. Now it is the same throughout only for them the size of the land.
Yes, ma'am.
And any activity they have to do within that land only.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so that is what is the question here. The people, the land in Palambur is a fixed land, which means you cannot extend the land, which means you cannot do more and more farming activity apart from the land what you have. Okay, here if you see the people of Palambur, 75% of the land is already used for cultivation, which means 3/4 of the land. Okay, but as the years went on, what happened is that there was a problem, that is the rise in population. So if you have a population rise, what is the problem in your country?
Ma'am, job and work is the most problem, ma'am.
Employment.
What will be the first thing?
Ma'am, here farming was the main activities, and there was more labors required, and if there was more population, means only like some people get the work in the fields, ma'am.
Okay. Now, whenever you have, if, for example, in your house you have 4 people. Imagine your father need to give food for this, to take care of this 4 people's every livelihood or with the different things. Imagine 2 more guests come and add up to your house. Is your father's burden will increase to take care of your family? It will be the same amount only will be spending.
No, ma'am. It increases.
Is the expenditure increases or decreases?
Increases.
Okay. Now we are, imagine you saw in the introduction there were 450 families. 450 means imagine there were some 1,000 people. Now after 2-3 years there was 1,200 people. Now should we increase the production of agricultural crops if the number of people rises?
Yes.
So if you grow only how much you were growing in there before, that's enough?
No, ma'am.
I'll give you one more example. Imagine you were 4 at home. Your mother was cooking 500 kg, so to say half kg of rice for a day every day. But the guest increases, in your house people increases. Will that only half kg of rice per day is enough to sustain? Or your mother has to cook little more than half kg of rice?
Has to cook little more.
Little more, yes. That is a problem here. Okay, you have people were growing only 3/4 of the land in Palambur, but as the years went on, the population rised. So as a result, this made the people to grow more. But to grow more and more, can you do any occupation without the first factor, that is the land?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, no. So what did the people do is, first thing they started converting. Now 75% they were converting. Now they were remaining 25% was there, no children. Yeah, 25% was a wasteland. It was a wasteland where not much growing. But they started converting that wasteland also something like a agricultural land with certain facilities. Okay, so here you should understand that initially people had a less, what to say, 75% they were cultivating. Now with the rise of population, they started even increasing the land. That is not by taking away other village land. How did they increase the land? Is by converting the, what did they do?
By converting
Cultivate.
25%
wasteland. Okay, they converted the wasteland into a cultivable land. So this is what they did it. As a result, they started to increase their agricultural
production.
Okay, so this is what they did it. Okay, now what were they? So this is it clear? The land is fixed here. Okay, now what was they cultivating here? Okay, now this is also can be your 1 mark question, children. The people of Palambur did not stick to their old tradition of farming. They had 3 types of crops they were producing. Okay, in a year. Okay, so in one agricultural year, they were doing more cropping they were doing. Okay, the first type of a crop is the rainy season crop. Okay, heard about this Kharif and Rabi, the types of the seasons. Okay, now
Ma'am,
this is only
Kharif
about
is
the people of
summer crops, no, ma'am?
yeah, summer crop also. Yeah, that is also you can write. You can also write summer crop also, children. That is not wrong. Okay, because immediately after your summer season begins your monsoon, no, children. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is what year is this? Okay, so rainy season, that is the Kharif. During the Kharif season, they were sowing jowar and bajra. Now, jowar and bajra, now here it was not mainly for their self-consumption. They were using this 2 type of a crop as a fodder. What is the meaning of this word fodder?
Food to the cattle.
Fodder means for the cattle or the
Ma'am,
animals
put to the
to
cattle,
feed.
ma'am.
Okay, now here because they had even lot number of cattle were also there in Palampu village.
Yes,
As a
ma'am.
result, jowar and bajra was mainly grown to feed the cattle. Then there were little few months there were nothing sown. That time they were sowing potatoes. Potatoes can be sown and harvested soon. So for two or 3 months they were sowing potatoes because they didn't want to leave the land empty for any month. Then
Yes.
finally when the winter season came, they were growing wheat and sugarcane. So these are the main crops grown in the the village of Palambur. So this shows that the people did not fix to one type of a crop. They were growing many crops in a same piece of land. Anybody can tell me what is that type of cropping called as?
Crop rotation.
No, crop rotation is you change the crop, but I'm telling in a same field,
Mixed
you're growing
cropping.
one
Mixed
crop.
crop.
Yeah, that is called
Cropping.
Mixed
cropping,
plantation.
or also you can also call as a multiple cropping also. That your answer is correct, children. Okay, so do you agree that this village of Palampu were advanced or outdated?
Advanced.
Okay, they were advanced. Okay, because this gives us an example is that they were growing in more number of crops. Okay, now is it clear the 3 types of crops what they grow, children here?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, my next question is, you can see the question I put as how. Now, you saw that the land in Palambur village is fixed, but still they're able to grow so many type of crops and they are able to earn a lot. Can you tell me how
Because
can
of
they do?
advanced method of farming, ma'am.
Yeah, that is what. So that is what gives to our next topic. That is, they were able to grow more and more with the same amount of fixed land. Is my word clear?
Yes.
They were able to grow more and more with the same amount of fixed land. How they were able to do is, this is what you have it in our slide, because they adopted the modern method of farming. Okay, so this leads to your next very important question. What are the modern methods of farming people of Palambur undertook? So this can be your next 3 marks or 5 marks question. Children, I think just that will tell you in the next, when I end up, I'll just tell you one point. Okay, is it clear with this, children? The modern method. Now, what is that modern method of farming we have is, first thing is using of HYV seeds. Okay, so what is this HYV is? H for high yield variety seeds.
Ma'am,
Okay,
the
H is
modified
for
version
high.
of the older
H,
seeds, no, ma'am.
yeah. So H is for high, HIGH. Y is for yield, Y-I-E-L-D, yield, and variety. So HYV full form is high yield variety seeds, which means they modify that, they take a seed. Have you heard about this mixing, especially to the lab they take the children? Okay, like how you have a physics lab,
Ma'am,
chemistry
gene
lab, there's
modification
also
they do know,
agricultural,
ma'am.
yeah, agricultural labs will be there where they modify the seed qualities. Okay, so that is a high quality seed, which means initially when you were sowing, imagine you're sowing one seed, out of that one seed maybe some 10 or 20 grains might have come up, okay, from one seed. But if you're sowing this H5E seed, one seed can give you 30, 40, 50 or 100 extra seeds from one seed. That is when they grow up and we get to eat. That is the meaning of HYV seed. Okay, more of seed will produce from one
Yes, ma'am.
seed. Is the one thing. Next is you have fertilizers. Okay, now before that farmers were not using fertilizers, children.
Manures.
Okay.
They were not using.
What type of fertilizers is the old method of fertilizers?
Compost, ma'am. Manures. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, then composed one. That composed one, how they were getting it?
Ma'am, by decomposing biodegradable waste, ma'am.
Okay, you means your house kitchen waste?
Yes, ma'am. Leaves, house
Yeah,
kitchen
that
waste.
also can be, yeah, the leaves from their farming land or from their area, then even the from their household waste. Then more than that, what is it? Yeah, very good. The cow dung was a main ingredient. Okay, so cow dungs were the main ingredients along with that leaves, okay, as well as the less of, not much of your household waste. Okay, they were mainly using the cow dung, but now they started using modernized fertilizers with all chemicals. Okay, also there is also one way. Then modern farm machines. Examples for modern farm machines.
Ma'am, harvester.
Okay, harvesters.
And something is there, wait, ma'am.
Okay.
Combine.
Seed drill.
Yeah, seed drill. Okay, very good.
Plower.
Yeah, for plowing also they were using tractor. The tractors only, you had that plowing structure attached to the tool there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so
Cultivator.
yeah, olden days they were only using the plow, wooden plow with the cows or ox attached to it. Okay, but now they started using like the machines you said, like tractors, harvesters. Then pesticides. Okay, so what is this pesticide? Is it different from your fertilizers?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference?
Ma'am, fertilizers fertilizes the land. Pesticides kills the unwanted
Okay, very
insects.
good. Okay, adding what is that? Energy, nutrition to your plant is
Fertilizer.
fertilizers. If you have any insects or any diseases or anything with unwanted things you want to take away from the land, so that is you use a pesticide. Okay, initially in olden days they were not using pesticides, children. Okay, even if they find any infection, do you know what type of pesticide they might have used in olden days? The best medicine, even now many of the houses we use for any infection. Cow dung. Then more than cow dung, is there any plant which will give you relief? Yeah, very good, neem. Okay, yeah, the olden days they were using the neem. Okay, they used to just crush it in the water or squeeze it in the water, because neem has that capacity to kill the pesticide. But nowadays, you know, you have advanced in even the virus, a pest as well as also. So that is also you have. So that cannot be killed with the neem now. So we need a better thing. So those were also used. And finally, irrigating also became modern. What is this irrigation meaning?
What is it?
Adding water to the
Watering
plants.
the crops. Okay. So
Ma'am,
even
supplying
here,
waters to the
yeah,
plant at
even in
specific interval of time.
irrigation also they started modernized one. That what is that modernized one is? They started building canals. Okay.
Borewell.
Then they started using pump sets, that is to bore wells. Then electricity is a requirement, that also they use. Okay. Now, any idea what type of irrigation they were doing before this, children? Olden
Something is there.
Okay. So what
Ma'am,
they were
like
doing?
modes.
You heard about this Persian wheels, children? Persian wheels?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It is nothing like a wheel-like structure, like a turbine. where that wheels used to, it was a huge wheel, okay, huge wheel, and this is to connect a bezel for each. Now, when you take a wheel, there is a spokes in the middle, no children, spokes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So like that, in a wheel there was a spoke, and for every spoke there's to attach a container like that. So whenever that wheel is to go down, it's to fill that into that container and pour out. So this is called something like a Persian wheel. This is the old method. Okay. Now in Palampur, people were also using this a lot. Okay, before this electricity pump set borewells came, they had a Persian wheels with them. With that, they were irrigating water. But even after the borewells came, they didn't stop the Persian wheels. They were also using the Persian wheel. So this is the one advantage why how the Palambur village were able to grow more and more. So this is one example to tell you that they were using a lot number of what to say, Persian wheels, as well as tube wells or the bore wells were there in order to irrigate the water. So these are the different modern technology, modern techniques what your people of Palampur used in order to grow more and more in a same piece of a land. Is it clear, children, with this? Everyone? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, anybody have read anywhere that this HYV seeds was introduced in our India because of one event or because of one change?
Because European seeds
Knows
they
what
might
is
Because
have.
that
the Green
change?
Revolution, ma'am. Because
Okay,
of the
heard
Green
about this
Revolution.
word, yeah. Heard about this green revolution,
Yes,
children?
ma'am.
Introduced
Have
by
you
the
okay,
Prime Minister of India
okay.
during that time by Jawaharlal Nehru. This act provided all farmers the HYV seeds, and they were taught how to use the modern methods of
Okay, Ajay, 1 minute.
agricultural
Okay,
practice.
okay. Now I'm just pausing here. The reason is I just want to give a small homework on this only. So next class, I think I have just 2 more minutes left now. So the homework for you is I want you to just read about, okay, read about this green revolution and come for the next class. Okay. Now why I'm telling you is that now you saw this modern techniques in the slide, no children. Now all this modern techniques was introduced because of green revolution in our India. Okay. Now same thing you heard about
Sorry.
industrial revolution in your England, which happened in 18th century.
Mom.
Yes,
Ah,
ma'am.
now because of that, you saw how man handmade was replaced with machine made, a big revolution in the world. Same way, our India kept back the old tradition and took modern method of agriculture because of one event called as green revolution. Now because of green revolution only, all this modern technique what you're seeing in the slide came up. So I just want you to read, nothing to do much, you just read about green revolution.